Okay, so the Vince McMahon WWE coup is truly a bonkers story, and it has been since I first mentioned it on the 6 Minute Daily, I think. And it's been crazy since, well, the first trading day afterwards as well. It's almost like it's a storyline that was pulled out of the wrestling soap opera itself. It's not, of course, and it's happening in real time, and there's a lot of moving parts. See, Vince took out 3 board members to put himself and 2 others in place, and then 2 more quit. So that's 5 people swap in one fell swoop. But why? Why is this happening? Well, Disney would be a simple answer, but there are more parties involved than that, so we'll need to go through this. Here we go. So, everybody knows that live entertainment is a big pull right now, at least when it comes to linear entertainment. And everybody knows that carriage rights deals on sports and similar live events are incredibly valuable. In fact, they're truly the last valuable thing that you can actually, acquire for linear television, or at least for the linear TV market overall. And because of this, this extraordinary value, that is, every rights holder is set to make huge gains with every new package sale. And mind you, there are a lot of them coming up. In fact, this year coming up, 2024, there were 3 expiring rights deals, which means that we will be knee-deep in negotiations as early as this spring, if not actually in the middle of the summer. It's going to be happening. See, the Pac-12 college sports rights is coming up in 2024, which is likely to expire permanently because that conference itself may possibly dissolve. Hard to say. The rights are currently split between ESPN and Fox. And then, of course, you have the UFC's linear rights deal, which are currently owned by ESPN, and those rights are set to expire as well in 2024. And I believe those are owned by Endeavor, which is, William Morris Agency or whatever. And finally, you guessed this, of course, the WWE rights are set to expire for both Raw, which is on USA, and SmackDown, which is on Fox. Whose name is actually missing there? Well, ESPN. In other words, Disney. And of course, they want to get in on this particular type of entertainment. It's something that they've coveted, and if they can own something outright, it's cheaper. Strangely, Disney has been getting chummy with the WWE for several years now. In fact, they had announced a deal back in January of 2022, so a year ago or so, that allowed Disney to carry the WWE on Disney Hotstar in Indonesia. And of course, other deals were hinted at back then as well, and probably some things came together. Actually, Disney's been showing that interest, as I mentioned before, since, I don't even know, 2019. And many rumors have been floated around the potential purchase of WWE by Disney or anybody for quite some time. The brand itself has never been worth more in the eyes of many financial analysts. Even the Wall Street people themselves, not even the analysts, but the talking heads, are actually getting in on the act of predicting who's in the market for the WWE. Of course, all the familiar names are going to pop up. Disney and Comcast, most especially. In fact, CNBC recently confirmed a few days ago that Vince's return was tantamount to a final sale commitment. Vince's own words indicate his intentions, and the board slate as it exists now is, likely hell-bent on making that deal happen, because it's more than possible. It's probable. And why? Well, they went out and they hired a middleman, JP Morgan, in fact, and they've been called into play as that middleman to help establish value and convey value to the next purchaser during the course of the sale. There could certainly be other interested parties out there, beyond even the ones that I'm going to mention. The idea of owning WWE, as I've said, is, well, it's preferred because if you own them, you never have to negotiate another rights deal. And there would be no competition for those rights if you own them in the future, and you could have that coveted brand, the granddaddy of them all, and, worldwide wrestling. As many of you know, Vince McMahon himself owns controlling shares in the company outright and can essentially greenlight any transaction that he chooses. There's just nobody that's got enough weight to oppose him. And the recent CNBC article points at 3 likely suitors. Of course, we already know who they are. And honestly, I think it's just 2, which is Comcast and Disney, but there are more. In fact, CNBC points out that if Comcast wanted to play dirty, they could actually make the purchase of WWE in part with Disney's money, if not with all Disney's money, because they're in line for at least a $9 billion payday for their Hulu stake this year. I think it's due by point in 2024, but imagine they'll probably pay up this year. And again, $9 billion probably more than covers the cost of the entity. Now, Iger, on the other hand, is the king of acquisitions. We all know him that way. And he and his ego are likely to pursue and possibly overbid once again to keep the perceived riches, I should say, all to himself. Because it's kind of what it is perceived riches in WWE. And the problem is Disney is not what it once was, despite a recent surge in stock value. There is an awful lot of red ink to absorb from 2022 and a couple years before. And of course, more potential red ink and likely red ink in 2023. So how much leverage does Iger and the board think is appropriate for linear viewership, which is continuing to decline? Now, Disney Plus is an anchor, and it's constantly sinking. It's causing investors and institutionals alike to take a more dim view of Disney and its brands. General public's joining into that too for an entirely different reason, but we'll talk about that another time maybe. But there's some very important questions that the stockholders themselves are going to have for Disney as well. And speaking of stock value surges, right? The WWE just had one, a big one. They'd had a few after Vince decided he was retiring, and now they had another bump up after he decided to come back. So that, again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, started on the first trading day after this announcement. And it's continued, actually, through the weekend. It's up over $84 at this point, and at least at the time of this recording. And there is also a decent chance that it will continue to rise going forward because of the potential sale, which means you could cash in with that differential. Who doesn't want to do that? It actually popped a little bit more in after hours trading, and it'll probably be as high as $85 when this video actually is broadcast, when this video is actually released. So the news about the sale is going to make this value tip up likely over $7 billion, at least as far as market cap is concerned, before any deal is actually announced. I would estimate it would go higher. Once again, Comcast has that little bit of extra money there that they're going to get from Disney in the near future. So wouldn't that be funny? I think it would be. And now that I think about it, I'm going to have to try to figure out exactly how much Vince McMahon is going to be putting in his pocket at the end of a potential sale. Anyway, it's safe to say that we will likely see some deal announced in the next few months. I don't think they're going to drag this out. I don't think we're going to have to wait to the middle of summer. We may, but it's going to happen soon. And the only real question is who? Because, as I keep mentioning, other players. Heck, Endeavor may jump in. You could see Warner Brothers jump on it. Owning it outright? Pretty cheap deal. Pretty easy steal. But for now, it's still safe to assume that the front runner is going to be Disney. And that will once again change the perception of the company overall. Question is it good or bad? I mean, that's always the question. But it also certainly is going to change wrestling and its storylines because of Disney. Disney will likely try to make wrestling, well, a little bit more intersectional and a lot more woke. And won't that be fun? But hey, what do you think? Do you see the mouse actually owning WWE? Do you think it will be another big media company? And is there a chance that an outsider, let's say maybe Endeavor or Warner Brothers, comes in to purchase and maybe even continues to lease out the rights? We just don't know, but it's fun to speculate. So please feel free to use the comment section down below, and hopefully we can have a conversation about this, because whether you're into wrestling or not, this has a lot of financial implications, and there will be a pretty heavy indication with just how much somebody's willing to pay for this, with how much trouble any of these media companies are in, because I'm going to look at it from that perspective too. Anyway, please support other independent creators here on the platform. We have a lot of people that comment in the sports area. We have a lot of people that talk about the business stuff, but support them all. If you enjoy their content, be sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss anything. And of course, comment on their videos, as it really helps drive the algorithm. A like never hurts anybody. It's absolutely free to hit the thumbs up button. I hope you do it for me, and I hope you do it for the videos that you enjoy. And with that, be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye. And don't forget to check out my Rumble at rumble.com/CultureCasino.
Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.